got ourselves BD over for the team. One as a Demon Hunter with Kreisbed gonna be first up, ready to go, ramping up some fire. Grook in the back, we got ourselves Holy Saya, as well as a Jayhawk Wizard. I'm liking that whole, like, this purple witch looking thing you got going on. I'm actually kind of digging it. Over on the team 2, we also got ourselves Volt's Bolt as a Desto. We got Sham, we got ourselves Miz, as well as a Grifka joining back in as a sub-rogue. I do wonder, as a sub-rogue, once you get your tier set, how different the spec is going to play. I am wondering if Secret Technique is going to be going by the wayside, because those eviscerates with all that crit damage could be really, really good. Big damage on the Trulik, maybe in a bit of trouble. Kazebolt out for Kreisbad. Bubble immediately for Trulik. The man took a lot of pressure early on. So Kreis, you're just gonna hang back here for a second, just kind of waiting for Trulik, trying to see if you can bait him down the bridge so you can use his mobility to get ahead of the competition. It's gonna be blind onto the succubus. Got him some good angle, is looking for a bit of a drain. It's Trulik, got himself plenty of movement, but it's gonna be a big old Shadow Fury. Kreis got himself plenty of damage to send at the Paladin, and the Paladin may just have to play this defensively. Kreis wants to make sure he got himself a good angle, but he's definitely not going to be jumping under for Trulik. Kazebolt to follow, potentially big damage. Trulik with a Mortal Call, Kreisbed with a lockdown, Incinerator after Mages. Oh my god, that Incinerate! The Paladin just slashing his wake of ashes left and right, trying to see if he can potentially reach Kreis. Just why? Dude, Destros, man. Kreis too, man. It's not only Destros, but it's Kreis too, dude. It's Kreis too. Reflect up for Kreis real quick in case Miz goes in for a silence or potentially stun. Got himself a Mindbender, which is gonna go for a fear. I guess it makes sense to fear a Mindbender, right? Otherwise, it's just gonna give Miz a bunch of resources, so it makes sense. But it's just like, it's just one of those little pets that most people don't really pay attention to, and Kreis just makes sure to eliminate it out of the game as soon as possible, dropping in a bunch of damage towards Miz with a Rain of Fire. It's going to be able to force out an Aegis out of Miz really early on. Got himself caught by a Crystal, but the Crystal wouldn't really break unless the man went super far. Mad damage on the Miz though. The man just doesn't really have much of an opportunity to recover whatsoever. Got himself a Disperse with dampening only 10%, and the man is still struggling. Mad heal out of Miz though. What was that? Hold on a second. What was that flash heal? Was that just like a fatty crit? Is that a thing? Is that what the class can do? Trinket out of Miz, trying to go for maybe a bit of damage onto Kreis with a stun to follow, full Void Eruption, but the man is under a ton of pressure. Kazebolt does go in. Oh, it's the fastest cast Kazebolt I've ever seen. Miz heals, by the way, are fantastic. Void Torrent around the corner. Kreis does not have an answer for this one unless he goes in for an interrupt or Mortal Call or something. That was a nice bit of damage from Miz though. So he does have a chance against Kreis. As long as he sets up some of his big hits onto Kreis, he'll be golden. Kreis taking a bit of that passive damage from the tentacle. Mortal Call Fear onto Miz. Miz needs to get himself... Does he play into Mind Flay Insanity playstyle? I feel like if he can get himself a clean Insanity onto Kreis, he's going to be able to chip away at him. Or maybe he's just a full-on bank everything for Void Torrent kind of guy. Who knows, honestly. But that Void Torrent definitely trucks. Fear onto Kreis has a trigger for it. Mortal Call stunned by Miz, going in for full Void Eruption with a silence most likely. Walls available for Kreis, but that's a big Infernal hanging over him. Miz does get reflected. Silence back on him. Kreis landing the reflect at a right time as Miz wanted to get super hyper aggressive. He has himself full cooldowns at the ready. He wants to be able to truck down Kreis, but he just knows he can't really maximize the pressure just yet. Shadow Crusher on the corner. Kreis, I believe, dodging it handily too. With Miz activating Vampiric Embrace. Any kind of damage he does to the demons as well as Kreisbed, he should be able to recover quite a lot of it. He still has that emergency healing in case he needs to, but the dampening is slowly ramping up. We're 6 minutes into the duel. 29% dampener is going to reduce all of your healing by quite a bit. Second CC around the corner, Aegis to protect Miz for a second. Mortal Call, but the man, oh my. The conflagrations and the shadow burns really do sneak up on you, don't they? Like the big chaos bolts, the portals, the incinerates, you could expect how much damage those do. But like a single Mortal Call into a quick second CC as you're just burning it with instant cast into an instant cast into instant cast, and if you're at 20% health, it's basically just done. As long as Kreis has enough haste, it's basically done with. Trinket immediately for Vaults, trying to see if he can get ahead of Kreis, but setting Mortal Call, but Kreis taking it way back towards the other side of the arena. From Vaults is going to have to slowly crawl back towards Kreis, but little by little does play into the interrupt pet. So now that the interrupt has been used, Kreis could just put in some pressure onto that pet, maybe even burn it down while Vaults is just completely slow. It can't even really approach Kreis whatsoever. It's going to go for the Dark Pack. Kreis is just trying to see if he can get as much chip and damage out Vaults as best as he can without really being in front front of the guy. Portals are being opened up. Cries could take a lot of that damage. Vault's getting hit with the Mortal Coil. Does go for the wall, but the man is really feeling the pressure right now. Soul Burn or Hellstone in order to give himself a little bit extra value, and Cries just taking his healthy self away from Vaults for just a second until he can get himself that Succubus CC in order to capitalize the pressure on him. Vaults does not have a trinket anymore, so Cries is really in a good spot. Cancel sent in. Vaults does not have a reflect right now. Could be a lot of pressure to his Vaults. Oh! I think that was a Shadow Burn at the end, wasn't it? And Cries positioned himself in a good spot where the Rogue on the approach, he could maybe hit him with a Succubus CC. There goes the Succubus. Could go for the Succubus Seduction. Does go in for it. Shrink it out of Grifka immediately. That's going to be secret technique onto Cries, but he doesn't have a Mortal Coil for a bit. Could potentially go for a port. Actually, looks like he doesn't have a port, or trying to see if he can establish another port. Mortal Coil at the ready. Grifka does go in for advantage, but he is still slowed into a Shadow Strike to follow. Mortal Coil right after. No longer has a trinket. Stunned by Cries. He is still in a rough situation right now. He's just going to go take it easy. Just needs to run away from Grifka. Is definitely going to have to establish that Succubus CC at some point or another. Maybe he can go and do it right now. Nope, will not be able to do much about it. Cries does reflect. I don't know if it's going to help him. Definitely should be using Dark Pact immediately as soon as the Rogue opens up to deny him any pressure. And his better position is bet away from Grifka. Succubus CC immediately does end up forces of cooldowns on Grifka without having to burn a Dark Pact yet. And if Grifka wants to close the gap, Cloak of Shadows really early on. Cries is backing up out of the Dark Pact wall at the ready. Is going to drop down, potentially could be an Infernal. There goes the Infernal onto Grifka with a Fear to follow. Immolate right after. Portal spawned in. Does get interrupted though. That's actually super bad for him. Wall available. Mortal Coil to follow. Does he maybe take him down right now? He needs us to cast that right now. Can he do it? Into advantage by Grifka. Goes back in there. He's still taking a lot of the fire damage. One more Shadow Burn is all he needs. Got himself a gate again. Grifka still has a dot rolling on him. Maybe Crisman just picks up a wall and just presses wall immediately. Oh no, it's going to be Succubus around the corner, not letting Grifka recover. Again, Cries just needs an interrupter, it's a caster to him. He has himself a wall, so at least he can deny himself getting interrupted. Has a trinket as well. Succubus CC, does he get to do it? Going for a big Immolate. Does he just end it right there? Shadow Fury, does he have it right now? He just going for the cast. Cheat death for Grifka. Does give himself a little bit of health to work with. Crisman jumping down. Does he have another port? Wall, definitely see. Oh, I don't even know what killed him. Crisman killed him, but I didn't really see exactly what ability it was. But definitely did end up taking the Rogue down. Might have been a Shadow Burn as he hit him with a cheap shot. That was just a lot there, my goodness. With a Succubus CC onto Shamtar. Got himself a burrow so he can at least evade any kind of shenanigans from Crisman. Is going to go for the port. Wait, boys, Shamans, did they change so you can't burrow early? You can pop back up at a burrow early? Do you have to wait out the full duration before it pops it back up? Potentially. Sham taking a lot of pressure right now for Crisman at 52% dampening. He's going to send out some elemental blasts at the guy, but he can't really heal. And I think he realizes he can't really go for a lot of healing himself. Has a trinket, definitely should use it. Trying to get aggressive into a reflect. Oh, there's nothing he can do about it right now. Crisman sees an instant cast right now, and it's over. My goodness, does it take him? Portal open, I think it's done. Oh my god. Oh, Cries, my man. Cries bad. 10 milli, dude, on the dot. My goodness. Whew. Just wait until this man gets his tier set, though, dude. Just wait until this man's running his full tier set. You feel like you've seen a lot out of Chrysler. He's a fan favorite on the channel. But just wait until this man gets his hands on the tier, dude. It's gonna be a whole new man. It's gonna be... Are you guys actually all gonna have... I guess you guys are all gonna have to play that, what's it called? I forget what's it called. This is the fiery thing.